it did that. And we're on the phone, you guys. We're on the phone. Sucks. If it does it again, we're just going to have to, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'll make a little Zoom and y'all gonna have to come to Zoom. This is part 2 if y'all are watching. This is part 2 if you are watching. People will start coming over here. This is part 2 if you are watching. Wait until everybody figures out that I have moved from that other live and I'm over here. They'll start coming in here shortly. I don't know. Now the phone hates me. Look, now the phone hates me for some reason. I go off the laptop, go to the phone, and now the phone wants to act crazy. So who knows what's going on? Next thing you know, I'm just going to have to send y'all a Zoom code, and we're all just going to have to get on Zoom. We're all just going to have to get on Zoom. And then we'll be good. Then we'll be good. So we'll keep going. I don't know. I'm on the phone today. I'm not even on the computer today. What time is tonight's live? Isabella's right. We on it now. It's right now. It's at 7:39. That's what time it is tonight. This is tonight's live. Isabel said, what time is tonight's live? Right now. You are here. You made it on time. We are here to give y'all a Zoom code and we all just meet on Zoom. Is that what y'all want to do? Just meet on Zoom from now on? We'll see. Maybe. We'll see. Let me see if I can. We'll let everybody get in here real quick. Any questions that y'all want to know about bank-owned properties while everybody is figuring out that we've moved? I know he shut me down, didn't they? Everybody's coming on in here. Come on in here, you guys. Come on in here. I moved. I said, next, we're just going to have to get on Zoom. Zoom is going to be next. I'm going to have to send everybody a Zoom link. And, oh, Isabel, that's right. You on the West Coast. That's right, Isabel. You just woke up. Good morning. It's right now. It's supposed to be 7 p.m. Central, but it's 7:40. And this is part 2. Step on back into the room for part 2. We're going to keep the party going. I was going to see if I can if I can drop this link for y'all, because I know y'all were like, Ashley, what's the code for the mentorship? So let's see if I can find it and drop it in here. Okay, any questions about REO bank-owned properties before I just start teaching you what I want you to know? Before I start teaching you what I think you should know. Any questions so far? Boom. Did the link pop up? There it is, you guys. There's the link for everybody asking about the mentorship. I just pinned it. We are here together. Okay, so how do I speak to you about the steps of becoming an auctioneer? So you guys, let me tell you about auctioneering. They called me. They saw my YouTube video. They saw my video on YouTube and they were like, we need somebody in Memphis. And they called me. I thought it was spam. I almost did not call them back. And I listened to the message one more time. And over how you acquire. Jay, we haven't gotten there yet. We just warming it up. Look, we just getting started. They called me, left a message. I thought it was spam. I listened one more time and I was like, wait. They said something about auctioning and trustee. And I was like, let me call them back. Called them back. And they were like, our person in Shelby County has relocated and we need somebody in Shelby County to auction for us. And I was like, I don't know how to auction. I'm not an auctioneer. I'm a real estate agent, right? And I don't speak super fast. And they were like, it's okay, we'll teach you. And that was 8 years ago. And that's how I got into auctioning. But I think you need like a license. But a lot of people don't have licenses, right? You can reach out to maybe like some foreclosure attorneys or foreclosure trustees and see if they need you to auction for them. Yay, Marie, come on in here. But that's my story. And a lot of people ask me, how do you become an auctioneer? And my story is just not the common way, right? You can also look up, there's auction companies, like there's a brokerage here that does auctions and real estate. It's a real estate auction company. Like, see if you can sign up with their company and maybe they'll teach you how to auction. You know what I mean? I wish I could tell you more. You know what I mean? But my story is just, you know, unconventional, non-conventional, unconventional. So, but that's how I started. I've been doing that for 8 years. But they found me on YouTube watching my videos and reached out to me. Hey, no salt, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Yo, does Tennessee have multifamily at 70K per? We got multifamily, right? Everybody knows that Memphis, I live in Memphis, so it is a big, do I need to do my introduction again since I lost the other one? Welcome, everybody. I'm Ashley Pickens. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been in real estate since 2006. I got my license when I was 21. Real estate agent. I've also been a real estate broker over an entire firm. But y'all know me as your auction mama. So I auction off foreclosures from here to Nashville and parts of Mississippi. Boom. There's the introduction if you missed it and you have no idea who I am. And you just stumbled across my life. So we are live. If you're watching, if you're wondering that, it is Sunday, October 12th. It is 7:44 where I am, Central Standard Time. Now, Memphis, back to your question, Memphis is a huge rental market. 60%, 60% of our population rents, right? So investors love coming to Memphis for rentals, right? Our real estate is much cheaper. We don't have a huge luxury market, but you can buy real estate for cheap and people pay good rental amounts. So we do have some multifamilies for sure, duplexes, apartment buildings, you know, all those kind of stuff. So yeah. We do. Investors love Memphis, except for the crime. But you know, we got the National Guard here right now. So that's, you know, maybe they're working on crime. So let's talk about, you say, how about South Carolina? I talked about South Carolina, didn't I? Usually Spartanburg, South Carolina. They said Columbia, South Carolina on the list for foreclosures. We were supposed to talk bank-owned. That's why you're here. Bank-owned properties for everybody who came in. The mentorship link is pinned to the top, finally. Because y'all were like, where is the link? Where is the link? We meet on Wednesday. You sign up. You can come see me on Wednesday. So I teach all about pre-foreclosures. How to reach out to the homeowners before they go to auction, right? Before they go to auction. So let's talk about bank-owned properties. First of all, bank-owned REO properties, that is the last step of the foreclosure process, right? That is when properties go up for, it should be pinned to the top. I can see it. Look, scroll, it should be pinned. It's in blue from what I see. That's when properties go up for auction. They do not sell at auction and go back to the bank. We are having so many properties that are not selling at auction, right? All the properties that are coming into foreclosure right now were just purchased in the last 2-3 post-COVID. I talked about this a lot last weekend. A lot of properties, like my friend in Texas, a lot in Georgia. I will show you an example of the sales that happened this past week. Nothing sold at auction. I think maybe 2 properties sold at auction. From this list, the opening bids are just too high. The opening bids are too high. The opening bid at the auction is the loan balance. I've said this so many times. The opening bid at the auction is the loan balance. You gotta love when you get on YouTube, right? So if you just bought your house post-COVID, then you owe that entire loan. You bought it in the last 2 or 3 years, you probably overpaid for the house. And so now these houses are going up for foreclosure and the opening bid is too high, right? The opening bid is higher than what the property is actually even worth. So they're going back to the bank, right? So that's why we are going to start seeing a lot of bank-owned properties. Sorry, why would you want to reach out before? Do you mean why I want to reach out to the homeowners before? So you can have a better, so at the auction, we talked about this a little bit. She asked, why do you want to reach out to the homeowners before? One, that will keep them from having a foreclosure on their credit if they sell it before the auction. Two, when you buy from the auction, you guys, you can't see the inside of that property. You are buying blind at the auction. You can't see the inside of the property. Homeowners still live in the property. And I mean, you have to go, and if they don't want to move, you're going to have to evict them, right? You're going to have to evict them. So I would much rather talk to the homeowner, give them some options. If they want to move, we can set up a closing date for them to move. It won't hurt their credit. I can see the inside of that house and see what repairs are needed and go at it from that direction. So it helps the homeowner and, you know, everybody at the same time. So it's just a much smoother process most of the time if you can talk directly to that homeowner, right? Now, there's some things you have to think about. If there's any liens or anything on that title, it has to be cleared. Absolutely. And if y'all have any other questions, just ask me, right? Y'all, I've been in real estate 20 years. If there's a question, just ask me, right? And I'll try to explain it to you or break it down so you understand. That's what I like to do. I make sure y'all got some understanding. Now, REO sites. First, let me show you an example. Look, I got receipts I'm about to show you of what happened at the auction this past week. This past week was the first Tuesday of the month. So that means Georgia, Texas had a big auction. For everybody who does not know how auctions work, Georgia and Texas auction once a month. The first Tuesday of the month. They do all their auctions at one time on a Tuesday. They're going up on a Tuesday. Okay? So, hi Ashley. So who clears the previous liens at auction, and do those liens get erased when it becomes an REO? So title is usually clear once the bank takes it back. The bank clears those liens. Boom. When they take it back. So when you buy it from the bank, you have good title. So who clears the previous liens at auction? So when they go up for auction and it like sells at auction, what happens to those liens? They fall off. Those creditors just don't get paid, or they probably go after that homeowner. But as far as the property goes, they fall off. When I say going once, going twice, sold, that clears the title usually, right? Unless it's some superior lien sitting out there. But ordinarily after auction, that title is clear. And then it is definitely clear once the bank takes it back. Boom. But if you talk to the homeowner before it goes up for auction, if there's any liens, HOA liens, IRS tax liens, anything like that, that's going to come out of that homeowner's money, their proceeds. Those liens got to be cleared in order for them to sell it to you. Do federal liens remain? So at the auction, if they have an IRS tax lien, that usually falls off in 174 days. The tax lien falls off. If you buy it before auction, talking directly to the homeowner, they got to pay that tax lien. They probably won't get any money. They're going to send all their money straight to the IRS. But if you buy it at auction, I've seen investors buy properties with IRS tax liens on it because they know it'll fall off usually in 174 days. And then that tax lien will follow that homeowner. But, you know, buy at your own discretion, you know. I was at my county auction this past Tuesday in Georgia. A creditor outbid a buyer by $25,000. Wow. Peace, not true, but I can do it on my own because the people was telling me partially how it's done it. So what would be the best way? Haas, you're going to have to help me on your question. I see it, but I need you to tell me what you want me to explain a little bit more. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm about to show you what sold and didn't sell at the auction this past week, okay? I'm about to show you. Hold on, I'm going to get the camera. Let me pull it up, though. And remember what I say. If it does not sell at auction, it goes back to the bank, okay? And that's how you get bank-owned properties. So, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You know I got this selfie stick. Okay, so here we are. This is what site I'm on, because y'all are always like, what site are you on, Ashley? Can y'all see that? Make sure to adjust. Now, we are looking at, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at auctions from this, hold on, let's see what week we're looking at. No, we're looking at this week. So let's look at last week's auctions. Okay, so keep in mind, don't get dizzy. Last week was a big auction week across the country. Can everybody see my screen? Blink if you can see my screen. How to go to the auction on my own and what to do without people indirectly telling me how to do it. So you know Haas, HH, that's what I'm gonna call you. Auctions are open to the public. So go. I always tell people to go to the auction. Thank you for blinking, Tawanda. I always tell people to go to the auction before you're ready to bid. Like, go see what it's like, see where it is, see how many people are there. The auction is free to go to. Just walk up there, go see how it is, right? But you've got to do your due diligence. That's okay, Jamie. Jamie, you can, don't worry. A lot of investors start off with no money. Don't worry about it. Do you think the government, you can have no money. You just got to have some work ethic, Jamie. You just going to have some work ethic. Do you think the government will save this housing market or let it bottom? I don't know if this government is in, administration is in the building, in the business of saving people. If you're asking me if I think they're going to offer some mortgage assistance, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get any mortgage assistance. Do I think if banks started to go under, would they bail out banks? Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know if they would do it quickly. You know, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people might get rich if these houses started coming, or if these banks started going under. You know what I mean? You always got to think, like, who could make money if things started to implode, you know? But do I think, like, your typical average homeowner, the little guy down here, if we were to have a foreclosure wave, would they get saved? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm on, can y'all see? That's what I was saying. Look at this site. Here it is, the site. It's a trustee site. It's a foreclosure trustee site. I would drop it in the chat, but I'm on the phone, so I can't drop it in the chat. So, but I know these banks are really trying to keep people in their houses because the banks don't want these houses back. But how long can banks hold on? How much longer can these banks hold on without people paying their mortgage? You know what I mean? So, and we're not buying at, and people aren't buying at the auction either. So real quick, you guys, this site, it shows auctions, right? These are auctions from last week. This is the property. This is the county. This is the time. This right here is PP means postpone. CXL means canceled. This number is the opening bid. This would be the results. I've said this before. If this number and this number, class, this number and this number are the same, that means it did not sell at auction. It went back to the bank. Does that make sense? If this number and this number are the same, it did not sell. Okay. So let's, first of all, let's all acknowledge how many properties. Remember, Georgia and Texas only auction the first Tuesday of the month, okay? They only auction the first Tuesday of the month. So, here are the auctions from this past week. If you did not think that a bunch of people were struggling, I'm here to show you that it's a lot of people who, and a lot of these are investors. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's a bunch of investors who are losing properties. So this is Georgia, all the counties in Georgia. Boom. Here, and then starts Texas. Boom. Okay, but the whole point of me showing you this is to show you if properties sold, do you have to set up a free account? No, you guys, look. Hold on, you guys, because y'all, look at you. Okay, look, you guys. I'm going to click on home. Here is the site. Here is the site. You don't have to set up anything. You're going to go here. Once you get here, you're going to click on trustee sales. I'm not logged in. I'm just at the site. Then you're going to all the way down. And then it'll show, hold on, we got it. There it is. It'll show you the auctions. That's last week, week before last, the week before that. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So we're looking at this past week. Okay, so no, I didn't have to log in. Just to answer your question. You have to set up, boom, 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 boom. How is the Fed? I'm still auctioning, right? How's the Fed shutdown affecting auctions? I'm still auctioning, but I'm trying to think of something. I know it's affecting real estate as far as a lot of people aren't closing, right? A lot of people who are scheduled to close on their house, not closing because their loan is not going to go through because the government shut down. That's what's going on. Um, I don't know. You know, we stop foreclosures. Usually we have like a holiday moratorium. A lot of people don't know about that. We don't usually foreclose from like December to maybe January, into January, beginning of February. Banks usually don't foreclose if it's a government backed loan. Now, if it's private money or something like that, they gonna foreclose on you. It don't matter if it's Christmas or if it's not Christmas. But usually over December, January, they stop foreclosures. So if you ask me, what do I think about furloughs and these job being permanently, you know, removed? What's the word I'm looking for? People being permanently let go. I think we're going to see an increase in foreclosures and an increase in distress selling. I mean, you have no choice but for that to happen, right? So are they going to put a moratorium on federal workers and their mortgages? I guess that's something that they could do, right? Give federal workers a reprieve. But if you call your lender and you have just gotten laid off, they'll give you probably a 6 months forbearance. You just got to call and ask for it, like a hardship forbearance for losing your job. So, but now anything past that, I don't know, right? Okay, so let me show you real quick. When you got that property for $700 that was listed at $850, how did you handle your buyers after the seller turned down your first two offers? Were your buyers anxious? My buyers were cool. So my guy was an engineer, right? He's a total numbers guy. He had been watching that area for, hold on, let me turn the camera around because I feel like I'm talking to somebody else. So she asked about this deal that I had. Hold on, and we'll go back to that. I promise. Hold on, y'all. I got the selfie stick I'm trying to do. She asked me about a deal because I'm the negotiator, right? I'm the negotiator, right? That's what I like to pride myself on when it comes to real estate for my clients. So it was a house on the market. It was listed at $850. I know y'all are crooked. Is that him? It is Daryl. Yes, Daryl. So it was a house listed on the market for $850. My clients wanted, he had been looking at that neighborhood. He wanted that neighborhood. They were coming from California. He was a numbers guy, like I'm a numbers guy, right? Now his wife wanted the house. She was like, let's put an offer on it for $850. I'm like, hell no. Not ever in life. Not in this market. And they had been on the market for a long time, like a couple of months at this point. More than a couple of months at this time. So the first offer we put in was like, I think the first offer we put in was like $750. And they're on the market for $850. So they were like, hell no. Right? They were like, mm-mm. I was like, okay, we were just going to see. They came down to like 840 or 835, right? My guy's like, no. So we left, circled back, waited a couple weeks. He was like, let's try again. Came back again at like maybe we did like 760. They still weren't coming down on that offer, right? So we waited. Because I'm like, y'all not going to get an offer. Y'all have not had an offer in months. We are the only one looking at your property. You know what I mean? So just come on. So it took a while, but he's a numbers guy like I'm a numbers guy. Like when we start negotiating, I'm like, we're going to have to wait them out. Let's wait them out. And the husband's like, let's wait them out, Ashley. Like, I trust you. Let's do this. And so we waited another couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks, circled back around. I'm like, me again. And the agent, I guess he thought I was boo-boo the damn fool, right? Was like, it appraised for $800 back in 2023. He was like, the appraisal came in. He kept trying to hit me with it appraised for more than this in 2023. Sir, it's 2025. What does that have to do with anything at this point? So we waited, came back. Still nothing. I think they lowered it a little bit more. And then I came back at like 725. And they started moving because nobody was making any offers. I know I'm the only one making offers on your house. I know that at this point. So they moved down and we finally got to like 750 and they came down a little bit more. Yes, I cut my commission just a little bit. My guy was like, I don't need closing, right? Because they're coming from San Diego, right? Can you get a $750,000 house in San Diego? No, you can't, right? So I was like, we don't need closing. My guy can close in 12 days. 12 days. Y'all have been on the market, damn it, like 6-7 months with no offers, right? Take my offer. And it took a while. I knew the sellers were probably like, really? You know what I mean? And the sellers had moved out. So I know you're paying another mortgage, right? You're paying 2 mortgages trying to hold on to this property. And so finally they were like, okay. It's like, okay. My guy got it for $700,000. He was like, thank you, Ashley. And he was like, my wife would have got it at $850. I'm like, I know. But you was not going to get it for $850. But most agents would have been ashamed to send over an offer like that, right? Most agents would be like, don't lowball them like that. Don't do that. No, that's too low. But you're going to offend them. I don't care about none of that. None of that, right? I don't want my client to be upside down in a month, right? So no, we got it at $700,000. And my client was like, thank you. And that's how that deal worked out. So don't be afraid to negotiate, especially if a house has been on the market for a long time. Negotiate. It's nobody lined up. They're not waiting on an offer. We don't have anybody coming for a second showing. No, don't do it. And if they say no to your offer, say, okay, thanks. We'll be back in touch, and go circle and see if it's sitting there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then hit them with that low offer again. And as a good real estate agent, you're going to say, hey, we've been on the market for a while. This might not be the offer we were looking for, but we don't know when we're going to get another offer. So let's at least start talking to them, right? Solid buyer, right? My guy putting down 20% on a $700,000 house. My guy bringing $100,000 to the table. And we can close in 12 days. We can close in 12 days. And that's why I told him, I was like, you need to take all this information back to your homeowner, right? Y'all not going to get another offer anytime soon. And we're going into the holidays, right? You're really not going to get another offer. And the longer you sit, the lower the offers are going to come. So you need to take, what is the saying? A bird in the hand is worth more than a bird in a bush. I don't know. Y'all know when I come to quoting, I don't know. So my guy got his house for $700,000. I'm sorry to the neighbors, because I know that killed their home values. It didn't kill it, but it did not help them, because the house we got, it was a small gated community, right? Only like, let's say 9 houses in the community. Gated, small community. Our house was the biggest one in there. We were on 2 lots. It was the only house sitting on double lots. Okay? So, of course, they were priced higher than everybody else. It was 2 houses in there. Our house that he wanted was on the double lot. The other house was on a single lot. The house sitting on the single lot was listed at $725,000. We got the double lot house for $700,000. So I know the homeowner of the single lot was like, damn. Why do I say that? Because when they have an appraisal done, whoever buys their house who has an appraisal done, our comp is right like 100, 500 feet away. You know what I mean? And they're going to be like, well, this double lot sold for $700,000. You know, you on your single lot can't pull $725,000. So, you know, sorry. And I know the house that is on the market for $700,000 on the single lot, they were on an adjustable rate, and their rate adjusted. I think they did like a 2-1 buy down, and their rate had adjusted, and I think that's why they were trying to hurry up and sell. You know what I mean? So, okay, so that's what it was. My point, negotiate. If you have an agent that is scared to negotiate, get you another agent. Period. So you are not upside down or underwater on your house. Okay? That's all I was going to say. So negotiate, especially in this market. It's a buyer's market. Don't feel intimidated. The longer a house is on the market, the lower your price needs to be. Okay? So, boom. This has been on the market forever. All right. That's what I was like. And the agent tried to play me. And that made me have to offer an even lower offer because he tried to play in my face. The appraisal came in 2023 at higher. It's 2025. What does that have to do with anything? Tell that to somebody else. Okay, anyway, you guys, back to REO properties. I'm about to change the screen around. Okay, so here we are, class. They probably could have had a buyer if they would have really just brought the price where it needed to be honest. They probably could have sold the house a long time ago if they weren't trying to be stubborn. But baby, don't let me see a high days on the market. I'm really going to hit your pockets. But anyway, you guys. So this is last week's auction, first Tuesday of the month in Georgia. Everybody back with me. This is why I said we will see an increase in REO bank-owned properties. So here we are. What did I say? If this number and this number is the same, it did not sell. So let's look, class. Let's see what sold. Right, Camille, bye. Like, don't play with me. He was like, your seller, your buyer should be happy that we've come down. Sir, go back and take your offer back to your client and let them know I'm not the one. So, or I'll see you in 2 weeks with a lower offer. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm sure you'll still be on the market. So anyway, here we go. Let's look and see how many properties sold last week, the first Tuesday of the month, where it's a lot of auctions. So let's start here. Everybody can see. Y'all know I'm trying to hold this tripod. And, okay, here we go. So I'm going to start scrolling down. And let's, hold on. Get the screen adjusted so y'all can see. Y'all know I'm trying to hold it and scroll. Okay, here we go. So let's just move up a little bit. Didn't sell. Didn't sell. Didn't sell. Didn't sell. That didn't sell. Those was canceled. Didn't sell. Did any of those sell? Okay, this one sold. Opening bid was $38,000. It sold for $121,000 in Georgia. That's the first one we've seen, huh? Oh, I can't press the down button. Let's go a little bit more. Didn't sell. Didn't sell. Didn't sell. Baby, these opening bids, $500,000. Half of these houses were just bought last year, 2 years ago. Abrielle down there in Texas, she said she had 35 properties down there in Austin, Texas. All of them went back to the bank. All of the properties went back. All of them were bought in 22, 23, and 24. All of them that were up for auction down there in Texas. Just bought in the last 3 years. And all of them went back to the bank. That's what we're seeing everywhere. Okay, that one, 354, sold for 407. Okay, there's one, 186, sold for 220. And this also gives you an idea, guys, of what those down there in Georgia, what they're getting bid up to, right? Like when you think of the auction, how high do those bids go up from the original? 124, sold for 158. This one was 41,000, sold for 102. Let's see. Hold on. I know y'all might can't see it, depending on what you're watching me on. Y'all know I'm trying to do this with one hand. It was in Lamar, Georgia, 329 Brook Road, Lamar, Georgia, 41,000, sold for 102. There's one. In Monroe, Georgia, opening bid was 129. It sold for 181. Let me know if y'all see a house and you're like, Ashley, let's see what it looks like. I'll put it in Google and see if we can pull up the house. You know what I mean? Most folks don't have the money themselves, or the private funding rates are too high for most. Yeah, that's true. What's the website I'm showing? I got you. Don't worry. It is, look right there, mkconsultantsinc.com. mkconsultantsinc.com. And then you click on trustee sales, and we are looking at last week's results at the auction. Okay? That's what we're looking at right now if y'all trying to figure out what we're doing. We're looking at last week's results because last week was a big auction week, okay? None of that sold, right? 214, 212, didn't sell. Bunch of canceled. They probably filed bankruptcy. A lot of them in Texas canceled, didn't they? And keep in mind, this is not all of them. This is just the ones that this trustee has, right? This is not all the auctions. Postponed. A lot of them got postponed. Maybe they're trying to sell it. 786. Didn't sell. Let's see. And then we'll start talking bank owned. Didn't sell. Okay, this one opening bid was 404, sold for 505. Let's see what that was. In LA, 1504 South California Avenue. Opening bid was 404, sold for 505. Okay, this one in California sold. Opening bid was 331, sold for 601. Let me know, should we go look at them? When they cancel as a result of bankruptcy, it could be they filed bankruptcy. They might have gotten a modification. They might have sold it, CD. They might have went on and got their property sold and got it off the foreclosure list, got out from under it. Here's one. It was a couple of them in Beverly Hills up last week too, like 2 of them in Beverly Hills last week. 1.3 million did not sell. 1.189, 104. So my point is, you see how many properties are going back to the bank is my whole point of showing you this, so you understand that I'm not making it up when I say, so they didn't sell. So what's going to happen? They got to go back to the bank, and they'll either become REO properties, or the banks will bundle them up and sell them to hedge funds. We hope that they would come back on the market, right? That would help make our prices so much more affordable, wouldn't it? If we could get a break on housing, for sure. Can we look at the one 331? Yeah, Camille, let me find it. 331. Okay, in LA, it's this one. 25. No, hold on. Which one is it? 331. 2514 Exposition. Y'all know I'm doing this with one hand. One hand for you. Let's see if we can do it. 25. Boom. 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 Your girl is good. My computer screen dirty. Looking at y'all on this this live. There, baby. Y'all in California. It's not funny. But y'all can miss me with these prices in California. Baby, in Memphis, that would be a good $75,000. No wonder y'all come to Memphis and buy houses. You know what I mean? So that one, your 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little over 1,000 square feet, baby. Sold at auction for, opening bid was $331. It sold for $601,000. There it is. Opening bid, ladies and gentlemen, for that cute, hold on, because you got to make it sound like you're a real estate agent. A cozy 3-bed, 2-bath, you know what I mean? Over 1,000 square feet, baby. Because you know how you got to do it as a real estate agent. You have to exaggerate you got to throw some seasoning on every word. A cozy 3-bedroom, 2-bath, well over 1,000 square feet, well over 1,000 square feet, with some lovely neighbors, with a spacious driveway, because baby, you don't even get a carport, baby, not even a carport. Lovely porch where you can sit out and drink your coffee. Well manicured yard, lots of curb appeal, baby. That's exactly what the natural light. Y'all know that's exactly what they would say. Perfect starter home for a lovely family. The neighbors are friendly. They will pass you a cup of sugar if you need it. All you got to do is open your window. Their neighbors are like family. There it is. Not $3,800 estimated rent. Not ever in life. not on Exposition Drive. Baby, the neighbor's selling for $700. Y'all must know something I don't know. Down there and over there in Cali. I was trying to see what was going on with it. Like, oh, so the price history is unavailable. But the opening bid for $300, they must have had it for a while. You know what I mean? It was built in 1922. That was a good year. The good year of 1922. And there it is. There it is. That's what's sold at auction. There it is. California. You gotta love the West Coast. You do. We no shade out. We do love going to LA. But golly, y'all's real estate prices will make you rethink a couple of things, won't they? It's okay. We love you. You know, we know how y'all do in California. Ain't nobody, we know how y'all do. That's all right. No worries. No worries. So there we go. Unless y'all see something else y'all want to take a quick glance at in Cali. They're not selling. Oh, we should see what y'all got for 1.3 million. Let's all get excited and disappointed in 10 seconds. 1.3 million in California. Let's see what it's looking like. Shepherd Hill. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Well, at least for 1.3, you get in 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3,000 square feet. There it is. That's a nice, what is this, stucco with your, we're going to say they're Italian tiles, because that's what it is. Nothing cookie cutter about this house or the neighborhood. Absolutely nothing cookie cutter about it. Nothing at all. Built in 2018. That's what opening bid was 1.3 million. Unfortunately, nobody was willing to pay the 1.3 million. Let's see if we can find out when they bought it, ladies and gentlemen. Price history. They bought it in 2017 for 1.2. Damn, and opening bid was 1.3. Well. The opening bid was higher than, maybe they got like a HELOC and they lumped them all together. Maybe they didn't, maybe they modified it and pulled some money out. And then they had to pay that modification back. And that's why the opening bid was higher than the house. That's insane. Yeah, Trap House, Los Angeles. Y'all are funny. The 25 one, I live by there. Dang, wish I had seen that. Santos Morales. Is that a good price over there on Exposition? How much is the HOA on the 1.3? I don't know if it'll tell me, you guys. It's a condo. I don't think it'll tell me. You know, they ain't trying to disclose too much, right? They're not trying to tell you. If it's a number you don't want to see. I'm sorry, y'all. You know I'm trying to scroll with one hand. It doesn't tell me how much the HOA is. But there you go. Santos Morales, is that a good, that was a good price for Exposition? Yeah, I would lose my mind if I went to California and looked at y'all's real estate prices. You know what I mean? You be like, I have to get a foreclosure on the West Coast, baby. There is no other. It's got to be a foreclosure. If it's got to be, what's the commercial? It's got to be tied. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be tied. If it's going to be me, it's going to be a foreclosure. If it's got to be Cali, it's got to be a foreclosure. That's what it's got to be. So there you go. That's 1 million. I'm just going to scroll. You can keep looking. This is, if that was Tuesday, this is Wednesday of last week. So see, we had a couple San Diego, LA again. 1.3 in LA. That is 645 West Foothill Boulevard. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to look at, and then we need to talk bank-owned REO properties. Don't forget, okay, so when you buy bank-owned properties, right, we can use traditional financing. Y'all know I'm trying to do this with one hand. One hand for you. Okay, 2.5 million, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,000 square feet. Opening bid was $1.3 million. There it is. There she is. You guys, they got her listed 2.5. Opening bid is 1.3. They need to lower their price, because if I know that opening bid is 1.3, I know what your loan balance is. So come on down. Come on down on that price. The stunning residence offers a blend of comfort and quality, featuring 4 spacious bedrooms and 3.5. The master bedroom and middle bedroom each come with en-suite bathrooms. Come on, with your bathroom included, and better for 2.5. Not the circular driveway is flanked by 2 security gates. Okay, well, it comes with security gates. Okay. Well, there it is. It's been on the market 358 days. Shocker. Click home. How do I find an REO realtor in my area? Ooh, Oh, Trevor, that's a good question. Let's look at this. And then Trevor, when we go to the sites, usually they have a listing agent. If you find an REO property that you like, right? If the bank puts a property on the market, they're going to list it with an agent. That's just what they're going to do. They're going to list it with an agent. So if you see one you like, you can contact any agent you know and say, let me go look at that one. Now, if you're just looking for an agent that handles REOs, go on their site and see who they've got as listing agents, and that might can help you. But when you buy a bank-owned property, it's just like buying traditional, right? You do your traditional financing, you get a home inspection. The only thing is, really, is the bank is the owner, and it's as is. It's completely as is, right? So that's really your own major differences. And the bank is the seller, basically. 358 days on the market. They had it listed at 2.5. Opening bid is 1.3, baby. If they would have got closer to that opening bid, they might would have sold it. But some people are just delusional. Let's see. 2.4, 2.5. They had it at 3. Baby, they really thought they was going to have a come up and came all the way down to the auction. Dang. Okay. That's a no for me. Details. Click home details. Y'all, here we go. Y'all go to the site. If I have time to do some more, I'll do another. Go to MK Consultants Inc. And then y'all can see. And then y'all can see what's coming up next week. What's going to auction in the morning. Looks like it's only 2 going in the morning. 1 in San Diego, but they got postponed already. And a couple in LA going next week. In Montana, North Carolina, we got some. San Diego. Look at y'all on the map for next week. For Tuesday in San Diego. Maricopa County, Arizona. Okay, you guys. Y'all, I told you the site. Boom. Okay, let's talk about bank-owned properties while you're here. Y'all, the link for the mentorship is pinned to the top because I saw y'all ask me about that. I'm crying about the price in my town, affordability as well, but the LA real estate market seems crazy. With the economy the way, do we think many famous rich people will see foreclosure? Everybody gonna see foreclosure. It'll touch from the poor to the wealthy, baby. Get behind on a $20,000, $30,000 mortgage payment, and your property taxes and insurance go up. It was 2 last week in Beverly Hills that was up for auction foreclosure. I didn't click on them. I forgot what. Hold on. No, let me finish this, right? Because y'all know I get sidetracked and I jump all around the place. Rich people are saying they are renting it now, but we shouldn't negotiate REOs anymore. We shouldn't negotiate REOs anymore, Ashley. Yes, we always negotiate, Danita, right? Is that what you're asking me? Should we negotiate? Always negotiate. Always, always, always negotiate when you're dealing with the bank. Because the banks don't care about us. I'm just kidding. They don't negotiate when they hit you with fees. So I'm on HUD Home Store. Can everybody see that? HUDHomestore.gov. This is a bank-owned site. This is HUD's bank-owned site, right? They have listings. You can click on any state and you can see. Let's just click on Texas since we've been talking about Texas quite a bit. Come on, computer. There we go. And so it'll pull up the bank-owned properties. We've got 204 properties listed. And you can scroll and look at the properties. And if you see one you like, you contact the agent, you make an appointment, and you go look at it. And you submit an offer just like a typical, this is Sugarland, right? Isn't that a good area in Texas? 643,000 in Sugarland, Texas. So don't think that all the properties up for auction are hood properties, because they are definitely not, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, she's got some character with that wallpaper. So what I mean is, as is, what you see is what you get. If you were going to make an offer on Sugarland, then you would tell them, you would find out how much it's going to cost to get rid of that wallpaper, unless you like it, unless that's your style. And then you would make sure you incorporate that in your offer. If they tell you it's going to be $10,000 to get rid of wallpaper, then you make sure you put that $10,000, you know what I mean? You offer accordingly. That makes sense. Ooh, wee. Ooh, wee. There it is. But she's got space. Look, she's got good bones, right? She's got good bones. All you need, it looks like it's cosmetic from what I can tell. What y'all see? It's looking cosmetic. Come on, I know, Monet Rose. I'm saying it's cosmetic. You can make her pretty, I feel like. I don't see anything crazy. Just needs carpet paint. Get rid of carpet and paint. All of us can see past that. I feel like most of us can see the vision. If you got a house for half what the neighborhood is going for and it needs carpet and paint, you can make it. Look at the space. Look at that. I mean, you guys. See? Go in there and lowball them. It's getting to be the end of the year. These banks got to get these houses off the books. Go on, lowball them. Say you can close quick. Get your inspections done to make sure her bones are good. She cute. You need to fix the curb appeal. You know what I mean? Got a little, she could be nice. You know what I mean? Those are those kind of properties where you're like, if you can buy the ugly house on the street and make it pretty and have equity, that's a win. You know what I mean? And whenever you decide to sell it, if you ever decide to sell it, maybe that's going to be a home run every time. Every time. So it looks like it's eligible for FHA 203K. You can get that. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see the screen. We doing this real bootleg over here because I'm holding the camera and turn it around to y'all. This is some real 2000 dial up. Hit me on my beeper kind of stuff right here. I'm holding the camera, turning it around so y'all can see. So here's the listing broker. Y'all call Mary Goodrow. If you don't want to deal with Mary, have your agent call Mary and set up an appointment and go look at it. Get your inspections done. Estimate all of those repairs. Get every inspection. If you need to do structural, electrical, home inspection, whatever you want to do, get all those inspections done. You don't want to buy a money pit. And then you make an offer based on that. If they come back and say my repairs are going to be $50,000, then you go and send up 400. Send an offer for 400. Y'all know how I be lowballing people. Let's start at 400. Let's start at 375. What you gonna come back? Denied. Okay. 380. I'll be back in a week. So that's how you would make an offer. And the offer process is the same. Purchase and sale agreement. The bank is going to have some addendums for you to sign. And then it's the same thing. Earnest money, get your loan. It's just like buying a regular house, y'all. The bank is just a seller. That's all. Just you get financing. There's one for $480 in San Antonio, Texas. Boom, boom. You contact the broker. 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. Y'all better buy these houses from the banks. You know, I just said it's fourth quarter. It's the end of the year. Banks want to get some of these houses off their books. They need some cosmetics. You know what I mean? If you're trying to bring it up to date. Yeah, you just need to do a little cosmetics. You know what I mean? But it's nothing that would scare, like, I think any investor away or anybody who can kind of see that we just need to paint it. It needs a little love. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? 480. Let's start with 300. Let's start with 275. Tell me what you think. Is it an absolutely no? Is it a HELL no? Or is it like a no? Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back. So make sure you get your inspections. Make sure you negotiate. I was trying to see if it would. Sometimes it'll tell you. Okay, so that's HUD Home Store. Boom. That's the first site that you should have written down. Or you're just going to have to come back and watch the replay. HomePath. HOMEPATH. HomePath.fanniemae.com. That's Fannie Mae's REO site. And we are having a whole masterclass on YouTube. Right? That's what we're doing. Down payment assistance is available. May be available for owner occupants. They usually give priority to people who are going to live in it and nonprofit organizations. Usually it's the first look, the first 30 days. They try to get an owner in there. If not, they will open it up to investors. Right? So this is HomePath. You can make an offer online. They usually get back to you within 48 hours. I'm just trying to scroll down and see what else they got on here. And then we'll look at properties. How much can I afford? Make an offer. Let's look at that in case y'all are wondering how to make an offer. So you prepare your offer, pre-qualification letter, get pre-approved or whatever you're going to show, your proof of funds, mortgage loan type, determine what you're going to use, conventional, FHA, 203K, cash, private money, hard money, soft money, somebody else's money. It doesn't matter. And then you need earnest money, figure out your down payment, closing and title. See, the good thing about when you're buying bank-owned properties, is my camera dirty? Find time to ask, right? Let me try to clean it. Sorry, y'all. Y'all might have been looking blurry. It's not you, it's me. When you buy a bank-owned property, unlike at the auction, you guys, of course you go through like closing, your typical closing process. So they're going to run title for you. They're going to do the title search for you to make sure the title is clear. Like the normal home buying process, right? You go to title, you go closing, you pick a day. You hold your little sign that says, I love my realtor. And you sign your paper. You sign all 150,000 pieces of paper. And then you get your keys. You know what I mean? I'm going to start offering 100K for 250K homes. Come on, minister. That's me. That's right up my ball game. That's right. What are they going to say? Especially if they've been sitting on the market and they haven't had an offer or showing in 90 days. I bet you they sit there and think about it for a second. You know what I mean? They might think about it and be like, oh, no. You'd be like, okay, I'll be back in a week. Let's talk again in a week. And then they'll be like, you know what? And just make it sound good. I love the neighborhood. I lived over here. I think it's a great school district. Boom, boom, boom. When I drove by the house, I thought it was amazing the first time I saw it. So I know your house is on the market for 300, but can you go and take this 150? See what they say? And I will buy you a cookie cake and bring you some boxes to help you move out. Boom. And then see what they say. Okay. So you can put in, let's see what we doing in the Chi-Town, in the Windy City. I just put in Chicago. Let's see what we got cooking. What's cooking good looking? This one is price reduced, so I really lowball them. It was $5.99. They dropped it to $5.85. Thank you with your price reduction. Are the homes listed on this website? Yes. Yes, Demilla D. Yes, everything I'm showing you right now is bank-owned REO properties. This is what I'm showing you. HUD Home Store, Home Path, and I'll show you Home Steps next, and then I'll show you the veteran site. Everything is bank-owned. Yes, yes, yes. So there you go. You see that some of them have been price reduced. Price reduced. Everything price reduced. Maybe that's all it takes for me. Let me see you reduce the price one good time. I got you. Now I know you're willing to move a little bit. Price reduced, $244, 3 bedrooms. There she is in Chicago. Reminds me of my grandma's house in Chicago. Y'all know I was born in Chicago, right? And there she is. They look like they didn't try to fix her up a little bit. They didn't painted her and put some floors in there for you. She's looking like she might be cleaned up a little bit. You know what I mean? Got herself together a little bit, you know? $244. They got first time offers and incentives. Some of these bank-owned, they'll pay up to 3% closing costs. Boom. Up to $500 appraisal credit. Some of them will give you some down payment assistance. You just got to ask for what you want. You know what I mean, you guys? So if you're having a hard time finding a house in this market, I would definitely say check out some bank-owned properties. You know what I mean? Let's do home steps, and then we'll go to bed. And then we're going to go to sleep. This is not a telethon. I know y'all wish it was. But I'm not one of these 24/7 streamers, okay? Are these homes only posted on the sites they're on, or are they posted on other sites like Zillow? I don't know. You know, find one and put it and see what comes up. See if it pops up on Zillow. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if it's listed by an agent, then the agent might put it on the MLS. They might put it. I know why you asking money. You asking Monet so you can wholesale. You trying to see how many people going to see the price that you paid for it. I know what y'all over there doing. I know. Hold on, let's put in, I don't know, Los Angeles. I don't know where they, I just like to click sometimes. Los Angeles, California. I know I'm trying to do all this with one hand. Okay, here we are. new to your channel, I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm thinking about moving to Texas or Maryland to get my license. Currently, I'm in North Carolina. Is your mentorship specific for the region? It's for everybody. Everybody and their mama is in my mentorship from everywhere, from Los Angeles to New York to Florida to Texas to Chicago, everybody. My mentorship, again, you guys, let me make sure everybody's clear on what it is, because I don't want y'all to get in and be like, wait, Ashley, even though it's a good time, you're going to learn regardless. I have new people who are not even licensed. Half the people in mentorship are licensed. The other half are not. I teach pre-foreclosures. I teach you how to find the homeowners where you live. I teach you how to find them first and reach out. All the marketing methods that I do to reach out, I show you how to do that. I show you how to get on the phone with the bank and have a conversation with the banks, because you need to talk to the banks a lot of times. How to talk to homeowners, how to make offers, all of those things. And our community is probably one of the best things about the mentorship. We've got people doing REOs that work for the banks, and, you know, people who do BPOs, and people who do all kinds of creative financing, you know what I mean? And then we have brand new people who are just like, I'm trying to get into real estate and I want to see, you know what I mean? So it's a great, we meet on Wednesdays. We meet on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central. And once you're in for the rest of your life. Just kidding. Okay, so we're on home step. So that's what it is, you guys. And you get everything that I've ever sold. You get all the letters. You get my blueprint course. You get me every Wednesday. So you know it's a good time. But anyway, okay, so that's what it is. The link is it's pinned to the top. I can see it. Repeat this website. Home steps. Look, you guys. Like you step on a home. Homesteps.com. Got it? Y'all with me? Somebody type it in the chat. Look, somebody type. You know I can't type it in the chat because I'm trying to hold this phone and type the computer. Okay? Help me out a little bit. Okay, so we're on home steps. I put in Los Angeles. Let's see what we got cooking. Good looking. It looks like we got a investor's dream. You know how they do in the property listing. An investor's playground with all these boarded up windows. Here it is. This is what you're getting in California. Situated on, looks like some acres. She gonna need a little love. For real, for real. You need a little curb appeal, and we don't have any grass. Y'all got grass in California or no? Just kidding. I don't know what to say about her. I don't know. I mean, she might be nice if you're looking for some, like if I'm a real estate agent, if you're looking for serene quietness, you want to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, this is the house for you. Okay, let's see what she looks like on the inside. Is that graffiti on the wall? No, maybe it might have been some graffiti on the walls. That's okay. There she is. Look at that sunlight, a little skylight. Let the sun shine in your life. There you go. It's giving trap house. It's giving a reformed trap house is what it's giving, if you ask me. But you could make it your own. If pink is your favorite color with a little bit of blue, make it a home for you. Bars. There it is. But there she is, you guys. And you could, make an offer on it if that's your style. $369, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, rural property. But y'all, it's sitting on 17 acres though. There it is. There's the selling point. 17 acres. Boom. 17 acres. I don't know where Raymond, California is, but y'all better call Michael Allen and offer him $100,000 and see what he's saying. But that's how you do. Come on here, put your city in, see what's offering where you live, or at least someplace where you're thinking about investing. You know what I mean? And do your due diligence, making an offer, right? Let's talk about making an offer. There you go, you guys. Sales contract, pre-approval letter, proof of funds, earnest money, and any addendum. Giving failed flipper. She looks a little tired. She did look a little tired. Just a little bit. But she's been on 17 acres. Straight out of my, okay, yeah. Looks like Riverside County in Lancaster. Nice. So if you were wondering what all you need to submit an offer on a bank-owned property, there you go. Okay, home steps. And the last one, you guys, last one, ladies and gentlemen, VRM Properties. It's the veteran REO site. The veteran REO site. Is my camera dirty? Maybe it's me. I think my computer screen dirty too, and the camera lens dirty. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so search for a new home. Here's some properties. Look at that in Georgia. 1 million. Atlanta. Is it the whole condominium? There's Christiana, Tennessee, Dothan, Alabama, Wallington, New Jersey. These are veteran VA bank-owned properties. You do not have to be a veteran to bid on them. Somebody asked that. No, you do not. You do not have to be a veteran to bid on them. You can also sign up as a vendor. If you want to do property preservation with them, you can sign up as a vendor. It's a guy in our mentorship, Ray. He's not on there. Ray does property preservation for VRM properties. So many things you can do. My computer is loading slow. It must be tired, like everybody else. Boom. Okay, here we are. So, properties, VA, look, 150 in Crandall, Texas, Burleson, Texas. Y'all come on here and find your property. Arizona, Colorado, Talladega, Alabama, Monticello, Indiana. And you see, you guys, Katy, Texas, Tomball, Texas. Let's see. She's pretty. She's a cute girl. Look, she's cute. Let's see what she looks like. They won't let me click on her. Hold on. See? She's nice. I think that's a cute little house. What y'all think? Good backyard? See, it says start an offer. Boom. Contact the listing agent. Qualify for seller financing. Ooh, hold on. Let me see this. This is a different on veteran property. This property may qualify for seller financing. This property has been assigned to a mortgage broker. Purchaser type eligibility is investor. That's different. Sometimes you got to read what's going on. 5 bedroom, 4 baths. $1,597 if you put down $60,000. And is that the truth? No, it's not going to be your payment. But, you know, just add another $1,000 to it and that'll be your payment. I just want to let y'all know when y'all look and see like on Zillow and it tells you what your payment's going to be, it usually only shows principal and interest. It doesn't show you taxes and insurance. Okay? Just so everybody knows so you don't get your hopes up and then your dreams dashed right from under you. Because Zillow only shows principal and interest, not taxes and insurance, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean to click on that, but okay. So that's VRM Properties. Those are 3 sites: HUD Home Store, Home Path, Home Steps, and VRM Properties. Okay, those are some bank-owned sites. You can make an offer just like you would with any other property. Reach out to their listing agent. Make sure you negotiate and do all of your inspections so you are not buying. Hold on, y'all. I gotta put my little, hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I know y'all like, Ashley, get it together. Y'all, I got a selfie stick and I gotta get it back. Hold on, you guys. Okay. If you're just tuning in, you're real confused about what's going on this live, aren't you? Okay. I'm crooked. You're not crooked. My camera is crooked. So crazy. Okay. I'm crooked. You're not crooked. I just want to tell you that. Okay. I'm still crooked and my phone is going to fall. Okay, you guys. I don't have anything else to talk about unless y'all have something else y'all want me to talk about. But that is bank-owned properties, REO properties. Don't forget to negotiate. Do all of your inspections. I know y'all busy. I'm sorry. You mentioned the 203H loan, but got redirected with another question. We were not talking about disaster. Do you have a nugget to share? 203H, yes, that is that natural disaster loan. Like a lot of people, more people are familiar with FHA 203K, but there is an FHA 203H, right? And that is for cities and have been hit by a natural disaster like wildfire or flooding, and they will give you money to buy properties in that area. They will also give renters money to buy houses in that area. If you are a renter and you were affected by a natural disaster, you might can qualify for the FHA 203H loan, okay? And they will give you money to buy a house as a renter. So ask about that. A lot of people don't know about FHA 203H, right? So check that out. Absolutely, you're welcome. I'll try to have a masterclass. Y'all, my hand is hurting from holding this phone. I'll try to have a masterclass. Y'all make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can, if I have a masterclass, I'll announce it. I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley on Instagram. So make sure you follow on there. The mentorship link is posted, pinned, if y'all want that. If you need to reach me, youragentashley@gmail.com. youragentashley@gmail.com. That's all I got for you guys. If you want to see me on Wednesday, join the mentorship. I opened up the 2-payment plan. It's early bird pricing. The regular pricing will go back on the 15th. On the 15th. I will see you all on the next live stream, you guys. I hope y'all learned something. That's all I got. Have a good night, you guys. Have a good night. Bye, you guys. See ya.